My name is Jordi Magdalene, and we are located in Florida. We're in Northeast Florida, Zone 9A, if anyone cares. And right now, I started with 2 hives. Unfortunately, one of them was driven out, so we are down a hive. It's also winter here. It's still 55 degrees out, so hardly winter for most people, but we're down to 1 hive. We're pretty busy here on the farm. Not compared to some people, but for us it is. So I have 4 kids total. So we have a lot of hands helping us. Homesteadish came from a lifelong dream of mine to get back to my roots. I grew up in Wisconsin on a hobby horse farm, actually. We had upwards of like 20 horses or so, and all of my childhood memories involve being in the country and running around barefoot and all of those things. But then life happened, and I lived in Charleston, South Carolina years later, and I wanted to be out of the city more than anything. And so I started this little blog called Homesteadish, where my first introduction into homesteading was I actually was composting with worms in my apartment, and it ended horribly. Worms ended up everywhere in my little apartment. It was disgusting. But I wanted to get back to homesteading, and so I was just trying to figure out ways to get there. Ended up marrying somebody who had the same dream as me, and we ended up building an off-grid homestead here in Florida. So it's 10 acres. We're surrounded by national forest. It's completely off-grid. He built it from scratch. So right behind me is our barn dominium that we built out. So it's been a long process, but it feels like I'm kind of back to where I started. I have always loved bees. I've always loved honey. I grew up with a mom who cooked from scratch and made a lot of things, and I just remember her replacing a lot of sugar with honey. And so to me, it's like that nostalgic taste that I just wanted to replicate. You can't see it, I have a jacket on, but I even have a bee tattoo. So like for me, bees are just part of my identity. It's something that I've always gravitated towards. And so I tried to get as much honey as I could. And then when we moved out to the country, I was like, this is it. This is my time. And I finally have my beehives. So for me, I am somebody that like researches way too much. I have to know everything. I buy all of the books, and I will hold myself back. Like I have way too many books on beekeeping where I should have just started. But for me, it was buying a ton of books. I actually did 2 different short courses. I did one in Charleston through the Charleston Area Beekeepers Association. And then I joined the Beekeepers Club here in Jacksonville, Florida. And I just was going to all of their like meetings. They had some classes on the weekends. They do mentoring sessions. Because for me, I didn't want to get hives and then immediately lose them, which is funny because that's what happened anyways. But I really wanted to set myself up for success, and I think that helped me because I was able to find some mentors in the area who, if I have questions, I can ask them on Facebook, and they're also in my region. So for me, it was education, kind of participation, and then actually buying the equipment, putting it together, and then getting the nukes and then putting them in. So it was a longer process than for some people, but for me, it was what I was comfortable with. I think the biggest thing is just go find a club, go find an organization, or just post on Facebook and ask for somebody to help. Finding somebody who has more experience than you, somebody who's been in your shoes or the shoes you're about to be in. Because the biggest thing I think for a lot of people, myself included, was actually like touching and feeling the hives. So the sooner you can do that, and the sooner you can kind of acclimate yourself with what beekeeping actually looks like on a day-to-day, the easier it is when you know how to take apart the hive and you know like what to look for and what the queen looks like, all of that. And that really requires hands-on. So find somebody or find a group as fast as you can. I don't know who I heard it from or where I heard it from, but I know that it was somebody that was much further along in their beekeeping journey. They told me to get 2 hives because then, you know, you're going to have 2 queens, you're going to have 2 hives. Everything is going to be easier. And they say it's kind of like kids. If you're going to have 1, you might as well have 2, and so on and so forth. And for me, it's been a lot easier because I lost a hive, so I still have a hive, but then also I have the extra equipment that I need if a frame breaks or something. But you're already out there, so it doesn't really make much of a difference to just be out in the field for me and getting to see and spend time with the bees anyways. it really doesn't feel like it's much bigger of a lift to have that second hive right next to the first one. I wanted to find a hive that was going to stand up to Florida weather. I wanted something that was going to be built to last, and I also wanted something that was going to kind of have a story. And through a lot of research and just looking at social media, there was a number of people on YouTube and Instagram, places that were already using the Hoover hives. And so when I saw it, I kind of just dug in, got really interested in the story, where they came from, the type of wood that y'all use. And it was a really easy buy. I think I bought the same day I found you. So it was a quick and easy decision, and they've lasted well. It's, you know, coated with the beeswax, and I've had no issues so far, which I'm grateful for. So my fear might be a little different than others. I bought everything and then realized, or remembered, I should say, that I was 4 months pregnant at the time. And so my husband was like, "You're gonna beekeep and be pregnant." Okay. So for me, I was more so nervous of just like, okay, am I doing too much with a baby on the way? The answer is no. I just always pick up projects. But I think besides that, before even thinking about it, for me, the other concern would have been just like, do I have the time? Do I have the patience? How many times can I get stung before I give up? And you really just don't know until you get into it. But it's been a super fun hobby. I've really enjoyed it. Getting outside, even in the Florida summers, has been worth it, just to kind of see the life cycle of the hive and the bees. And I'm proud of myself for doing it while pregnant as well. My biggest piece of advice for somebody who wants to get into it is just do it. Don't hold yourself back. Find people to help you. But also document the journey, because I think it's really interesting to see like that first day nerves when you're handling the bees to a couple years in. And I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. And you can follow me on Homesteadish. So it's Homesteadish. The handles for most of my channels are It's Homesteadish. And my name is Jordi Magdalene.